So if you don't know, I was in Capitol Hill last Thursday for the State of the Union address. I want to start the conversation with this. This is my conspiracy theory bag, and I can't say too much. I can't say too much, but I will say this. I was extremely confident that Donald Trump was going to become president prior to my visit to Washington. And I think a lot of CEOs, at least months ago, had priced in. The stock market had already priced in a Donald Trump victory. This is just my personal opinion, ladies and gentlemen. Mm-hmm. I received some information that changed my mind. I'm not as confident.
Troy, come on.
Yo, my mom's climbing upstairs right now. I can hear her.
Yes, Dr. Mama. Yes, she's like,
yes, Rashad knows what he's talking about.
I'm not saying that Biden is going to win, but I did receive some information that I wasn't aware of. It's gonna be a tight race. Let's just say that. So I think, like I said, this is just my personal opinion. I think that from a market standpoint, if you have uncertainty, markets don't like uncertainty; they like certainty.
No,
You know Donald Trump is going to win. Okay, at least we can price that in, and we kind of know. Okay, if you know Biden is going to win. If you don't really know who's going to win, that would add uncertainty to the market. Anytime there's uncertainty in the market, then the stock market drops. That's kind of like an easy way to understand things. And I think if Biden does win a second term, then that could potentially have even more uncertainty, given his health issues, different things of that
cabinet issues.
It cloudies the water a little bit. So that may be part of the reason for selling as well, leading up to the election. But yeah, it was an interesting trip to Capitol Hill. I definitely would like to thank Representative Lauren Underwood for inviting me as her guest. And I got to meet with the Congressional Black Caucus. I got to meet with the head of the Democratic Committee. I got to, had an introduction to Nancy Pelosi and AOC and Representative Omar and Maxine Waters and a bunch of other people. For those that's asking why I did not meet with any Republicans, this is an interesting situation. So, Earn Your Leisure, we've been around for 5 years. We've had multiple politicians that have actually reached out to us. We've never reached out to a politician, but we accept invitations from anybody. In the course of 5 years, how many Republicans do you think has ever reached out to us?
Settle.
0. So I would love to speak to Republicans. I would love to interview Donald Trump. I would love to have a inside conversation with the Republican Party. They just haven't reached out. So if they reach out, then we'll take it for sure. But until then, we're gonna entertain the conversations that are on our plate. So for anybody that's wondering, but I'm still a registered independent. I don't support any political party, but I do take invitations for people that invite me different places. And the invitation came from the Democratic Party. So, I mean, that's the answer for that, because I already know that's gonna,
You wearing a MAGA hat if Trump give the interview, if that's his caveat?
No, I can't wear the MAGA hat. But I will. We'll be interested. Yeah, for sure.
You definitely saw one.
For sure. But so briefly, I just want to talk about the State of the Union because
yes, please.
It ties into the stock market. It's one of these things that Washington is a very interesting place and it's very important. And meeting with Representative Underwood, and she's on the chair of the Appropriations Committee. So she was explaining the Appropriations Committee to me. So in Congress, there's multiple different committees. These committees are 20, 30 people. They're extremely powerful. And depending on what committee you're on, you have a tremendous influence. So the Ways and Means Committee is the committee that deals with taxation. They pretty much write the tax code. It's about 20, 30 people. So if you think about it, a country of 300 million people or so, 30 people really dictate taxes, right? But then her committee is the appropriations committee. So that actually dictates where the tax money goes. So that's another 20, 30 people committee. And I asked her how much money they were responsible for deploying last year. I think it was like $2.3 trillion. So she was telling me about, healthcare and farmland and homeland security and a variety of different aspects. Cybersecurity, very, very big as far as the deployment of capital. So understanding the dynamics of Washington, I think, is extremely important to really understanding business because they go hand in hand. And if you watch the speech, the whole speech was talking about different financial issues, whether it was homeland security, that's a financial issue. Whether it was wars with Ukraine, the Ukraine-Russia situation, that's a financial issue. That's billions of dollars that he's actually asking Congress for. Whether it's he talked about affordable homes, giving a grant, I think it was like $500, something like that, $1,000 to everybody to try to buy a home. That's obviously a financial issue. So many different things. Student loans, financial issue.
Yeah.
So everything that is actually being talked about on the political side, it all dates back to financial issues, money. And if you are involved in it as an investor or an entrepreneur, then you're able to actually obviously benefit from it, right? So extremely enlightening day. As I said, I got to meet with some people that were very helpful in helping me understand things a little bit further than my original understanding of things. And I think that it was something that was definitely an eye-opening experience for sure.
I think let's pull back the layers a little bit because a lot of people may have watched it on TV, don't really have an understanding of it. You were inside those chambers. I think I've taken a tour inside there before. Never been to a State of the Union address, which is very rare moment in time. So talk about the atmosphere inside the room as the speech is happening, right? Like, because mostly I even have to explain it to my kids. Well, why are they clapping? Why are they not clapping? Why are they standing? Why are they not standing? Like, talk about those dynamics inside of that room.
State of the Union is very similar to a hockey game. It's a lot more entertaining in person than it is on TV. I've watched State of the Union for years, right? And you watch it, you doze in and off. It's not the most exciting thing in the world. But being there, the energy is crazy because you got hecklers. So people on the ground, they about to start fighting. Actually, like you got the MAGA people versus the Democrats, they arguing with each other in each other's faces. Then you got random hecklers that get thrown out. People booing the president, people cheering everything, every word that he says, they cheering. So it's like it's a very entertaining. It's 2.5 hours. Yeah. I honestly thought that I would probably be falling asleep after the first 30 minutes, but I actually stayed up. I was very alert for the whole thing because it was entertaining. It was very entertaining. They take your cell phone, so you can't record anything inside. Yeah. It's one of these things that you don't have a full appreciation for until you're in it. And another thing, as far as the networking thing, never turn down an invitation. That's a good lesson. When we first got the invitation, we actually wasn't going to go because there was only one ticket and they couldn't get us 2 tickets. That would have been a tremendous mistake. Because just me going opened up opportunities.
Opens up the door.
Exactly.
This is a lesson, folks.
So never turn down an opportunity.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a flip a coin thing. It was like, yo, do you want to go? Yeah, I'll go. But I wasn't sure. Go. And I think I texted you like 6:30 in the morning. I think I said I texted you like rep the set. And it doesn't even need to be spoken.
Did a great job.
Go rep the set. Yeah. I want to ask you this though. I don't know. Nobody asked you this. So like, when you're in that chamber, right, you got to be mindful of what you're wearing, right? So if you wear like a blue tie or a red, like you could be synonymous with one side or the other. Did you think you didn't wear a tie? Was that intentional?
I didn't wear a tie.
I didn't even think about that. That's a good point. That's a good point.
I didn't wear a tie. Honestly, the reason why I didn't wear a tie is because I knew it was going to be a long day. We started at 10 o'clock in the morning, ended at 12 o'clock at night. And I get uncomfortable like with a tie for 12 hours at a time. So I knew from a comfortability standpoint, I did not want to wear a tie because it was going to hurt my neck. But I also wanted to have some level of business casual to it. To like Fat Joe, everybody does it in their own way. Fat Joe has sneakers on, so that was his way of kind of I guess representing hip hop culture. And I just wanted to feel like I'm gonna still be respectful. So I had a suit on, I had shoes on, but I want no tie because we are still renegades in this situation, and I wanted to kind of
rep the set,
do that and be mindful of it. But I wore blue, but it wasn't for the Democratic Party.
Right.
It was just a
Did that go into your mind?
It did not go into my mind, but when I saw Fat Joe's tie, I saw a red tie. So
coming off the shoes, I was like,
right, you wear red tie. It's synonymous with the Republican Party.
Yeah.